most of us would only ever do for a member of our closest family. But late last year, a picture of this desperately ill Israeli girl on the internet prompted an act of almost unbelievable generosity. Ron Johnson, a caretaker from Northampton, made headlines around the world when he offered part of his left lung to try and save her life, despite never having met her. He flew to the United States to carry out his promise, where part of his lung was transplanted to the 10-year-old girl. On New Year's Day, he heard the devastating news that little Lisa Ostrovsky had died. Well, Ron's here with me now, and his wife, Denise. First of all, thank you very much for coming in. How are you feeling?
I'm fine, thank you. Yes, doing all right.
Now, the obvious question that everybody must want to know is, why did you do it?
Just a 10-year-old little girl looking out of the newspaper who was desperately ill. She was dying, and I think anybody would have tried to help in whatever way they could.
But, you know, I mean, people are very generous and they help, they give money, but they don't give a part of their own body to someone that you didn't even know.
Well, I think this is the main part of the programme that's on tonight, is to show that it can be done. And if people realise that it can be done, then more people would do it. We've got to the stage with lung donation where we were with kidneys 20 or so years ago, where we have to do it now to perfect the operation, so that it becomes commonplace in a year or so's time.
What is it about you, though, that made you pioneer this? I mean, it's a huge operation. It threatens your own health, and you certainly will never have the same lung capacity again. And to do this for a complete stranger, I mean, people have criticised you and said that you were seeking money or fame. How do you feel about that?
Well, this is fame, isn't it? I'm on Channel 5. I don't mind people criticising me because they don't know me. I know the reasons why I did it, and I don't mind, especially newspapers, if they've paid money towards Lisa's fund to print the story, then they can print as much as they like.
Denise, can I just ask you, what on earth did you think when you heard that your husband was going to have part of his lung removed?
Complete apprehension, really, because I was just concerned that he didn't really understand the implications, what could happen. Just through any operation, never mind something as serious as this. So I did go through it with him in great detail, what could go wrong.
Did you support him in the end?
I did, yeah. I mean, I've supported him from the beginning. I just wanted him to realise that it wasn't an easy gesture to make.
Now, obviously, you went through all this and then the little girl died anyway. In fact, I believe she only had a very slim chance of ever surviving. How did you feel when that happened? Did you regret having done it?
Not at all, no. We were obviously devastated to hear the news, especially as it came on New Year's Day, when everything was optimistic and we were all looking forward to the future. But we just got a call from an Israeli journalist to say she died. She'd only died 15 minutes prior to the phone call, so it was absolutely devastating, really.
Now, this operation, of course, took place in America, and arguably it could never have taken place in Britain for a number of reasons. One of them is because that you in the past have suffered from depression, and for that reason doctors here may not have performed it because they might be concerned about your motives and also how you're going to react in the future. What would you say to that? Well,
I underwent 4 or 5 hours of psychological tests in the States, which anybody would have to do to undergo this operation. And they came out okay, they accepted me. This depression has been so long ago in the past, I don't think it's anything to worry about, and certainly being able to do this will boost my own inner self, my own ego, and it would probably stop the depression coming back again.
Would you urge other people to go through this?
Well, I wouldn't presume to tell people to do it, to advise them to do it, but certainly consider it. It's certainly done me no good, and it could have saved a life, so please consider it.
Well, listen, thank you both very much for coming in, and it's good to see you looking so well.
Thank you.
Well, now let's catch up on the day's sports news with